Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. Thanks for being here. You are welcome here, nowhere else, just here. So today I wanted to talk about something that has been super relevant in my life: 9 to 5s, intentional work, and finding motivation. So just to back up a little bit, a couple of weeks ago I made the essentially life-altering decision to quit my 9 to 5 at a company that I really loved and I really enjoyed working for. But there was something inside of me, and my intuition was telling me that it was time to kind of move on and figure out a different path of intentional work. And I really didn't have any fear going into it. And I think that this is a really important thing to talk about. One being like listening to your intuition. I think for most people it is like a scary thought to leave their 9 to 5 and not have a backup for obvious reasons. There's absolutely no financial security when it comes to not having a solid job. So this is going to be just kind of like a sit down talking video. The few people that I have brought this up with have told me that they really resonate with what I'm saying, and they feel like they can't talk to anyone else about it because no one else will understand. I understand and I get it. So I think the catalyst to this entire awakening for me actually started with the beginning of quarantine. Around 3 years ago, the start of COVID, a lot of people were being asked within the corporate world to start to work from home. And they were being asked to navigate this new way of life where we weren't seeing our family, we weren't seeing our friends, we weren't exercising the way that we wanted to, and really weren't doing a lot of the activities that brought us enjoyment outside of our work. This awakening that was happening within myself, I feel like made me realize how much gratitude that I was missing from my life. So at the time I was working a corporate job at a studio in Los Angeles. After I was being asked to work from home, it really gave me a lot of just time and space to really be with my thoughts, have no other distractions besides my work. And as a human, I think that it's really natural for us to be uncomfortable when we're left alone with our thoughts, because we have so many distractions in our day-to-day life, so many things that are pulling our attention, that with quarantine, it really gave me the time and space to realign my values, reassess my life. And having so much time to just sit and be within your thoughts can be a really transformative period. At least for me it was. And unfortunately, I don't feel like as a society we really have been given those tools or resources to know how to deal with those uncomfortable feelings. And that's why I feel like so many people were in a state of despair and depression, because we really had to be forced to be within our thoughts without these external distractions. There was this great awakening in a sense, because we saw the great resignation of so many people leaving their jobs to pursue different careers. There can be no change without awareness. So I think this great awakening kind of created a shift in company culture. I feel like companies were kind of waking up to the fact that they had to offer more enticing benefits to get their employees to stay. Granted, it has been 3 years later. I do feel like we took 2 steps forward and maybe 1 step back in terms of this relationship of power. And so that was really the catalyst to this entire journey and leading up to where I am today. I've just been exploring my emotions, learning to trust my intuition and trust my gut, because I think that that's something that we've really gaslighted ourselves into not trusting enough. And believe me, I've been told many a times that it's not that deep, or that that's not rational, or that's not realistic. And just as a counterpoint to that, I actually think that it's maybe a little bit naive to think that we don't make decisions based on emotion. I was listening to this podcast the other day by Rob Dial about the secret to motivation. And he was saying that, our entire motivation behind doing things is based on an internal feeling, but we just attribute it to an external factor or reward. For example, to make money, it's not really about the money, it's more the feeling behind the money. We want to feel powerful, we want to feel secure, we want to feel freedom and spend the money to live the life that we want to live. So when people tell me that it's not that deep, it's always that deep. It is always that deep. Honestly, to get deep within yourself and actually think about the motivation behind the actions that we take is such a rewarding experience, because to me, it's honestly like the path to happiness, to truly understand yourself. Everything that we're marketed, everything in the media, it has a feeling behind it. There is an intention behind everything that you buy, every service that you get, everything that you read. And right now is like the reason why I'm just being so intentional with the decisions that I'm making, because that is the path to your purpose. But luckily, I do think that a lot of companies are kind of waking up to this and are realizing that they do have to offer more than just a job and pay, to offer a sense of community, more work-life balance, and recognize that work doesn't need to be our entire lives. Okay, so now moving forward to present day, you might be thinking, oh, well, that's all well and dandy, but I need to make a living, I need money. And obviously, I know that we've established that we need to make money to live. I am leaning more towards just intentional work and where I find motivation and purpose. And going back to that podcast with Rob Dial, he had mentioned that actually as human beings, where we find more purpose is through giving to others. Now that might seem a little backwards, because my question was, how can I find motivation within myself? But ultimately, as humans, it is so much more fulfilling to do something for someone else and improve someone else's life in some way than it is to find motivation purely for oneself. I think that's a beautiful thing. I think it's just a reminder that when we open our hearts up and allow ourselves to give, it can really just raise our frequency. And that's where I'm at now. I did just make the hard decision to kind of try to pave my own way and see what brings me motivation and purpose, and how I can maybe use my skills or gifts or abilities to help other people in ways that bring me motivation and purpose. And through honoring just that feeling, I just feel so much lighter in my body and my existence, and the possibilities are truly endless. So anyways, I know that a lot of this perspective can seem like super abstract, but I'm still living it, I'm still learning, I'm still trying to figure it out along with everyone else. But life is a journey, and it's more exciting when you actually follow your intuition and do things that motivate you and give you purpose. So I hope this little sit down chat just gave you maybe a little bit of perspective. And if you didn't resonate with everything, maybe you resonated with one thing. That's all I really wanted to do. So thank you for listening. And if you have any experiences that you want to share, feel free to leave them in the comment section down below. Other than that, I hope you have a great day. Bye.